Once upon a time, in a small village in the heart of Africa, a baby boy named Chima was born. Chima's mother, Coco, was very poor and didn't know how to take care of him. One dark night, feeling hopeless, she made a sad decision. She wrapped Chima in a blanket and gently placed him in a trash bin near the village market. With tears in her eyes, she whispered, "I'm sorry, my little one," and walked away. Early the next morning, a kind woman named Mama Jaja was walking through the market. Mama Jaja loved helping people and had a big heart. As she passed the trash bin, she heard a faint cry. She quickly looked inside and saw the tiny baby wrapped in the blanket. "Oh my goodness!" she exclaimed. "Who would leave such a precious baby here?" Mama Jaja carefully picked up Chima and took him home. She gave him warm milk, wrapped him in clean clothes, and rocked him to sleep. "I will take care of you, little one," she promised. Mama Jaja decided to raise Chima as her own son. She taught him everything she knew and gave him all the love in her heart. Years passed, and Chima grew into a smart and strong young boy. He loved playing with the other children in the village and always helped Mama Jaja with her chores. One day, as Chima was fetching water from the river, he saw a group of people gathered around a man who looked very important. The man was dressed in fine clothes and had a shiny crown on his head. It was King Adeola, the ruler of their land. King Adeola was looking for something, or rather, someone. He had no children of his own and was searching for a young boy who showed great courage and kindness to become the next prince. The king's advisors had told him about a special boy in the village named Chima. The king approached Chima and asked, "Young boy, what is your name?" "I am Chima, your majesty," Chima replied, bowing respectfully. "I have heard many good things about you," said King Adeola with a smile. "Would you like to come to my palace and learn how to be a prince?" Chima was surprised and looked back at Mama Jaja, who had just arrived. She nodded with tears of joy in her eyes. "Go, Chima. This is your destiny," she said. Chima agreed and followed King Adila to the grand palace. The palace was magnificent, with tall towers and beautiful gardens. Chima couldn't believe his eyes. He began his training to become a prince, learning about the kingdom, helping people, and making wise decisions. Every night Chima thought about his journey and the love Mama Jaja had given him. He missed her dearly but knew he was on a path to do great things for his people. And so, Chima's adventure as a prince began. What challenges will he face? How will he use his new role to help his village and honor Mama Jaja's love? The story of Chima, the boy who was thrown in the trash and became a prince, is just beginning. Chima quickly adjusted to life in the palace. He spent his days learning from the wise elders, studying maps of the kingdom, and practicing with the royal guards. Despite the luxurious life, he never forgot the kindness and love of Mama Jaja. One sunny afternoon, while exploring the palace gardens, Chima met a girl named Kessie. She was the daughter of one of the king's advisors and loved to explore just like him. They became fast friends, often sneaking away to play in the hidden corners of the palace grounds. One day, King Adila called Chima to the throne room. "Chima," the king began, "there is a problem in the northern village of Ndebele. The river has dried up, and the people have no water. I need you to go and help them find a solution." Chima felt a surge of pride. This was his chance to prove himself. He set off for Ndebele with Kessie by his side, eager to help. When they arrived, Chima saw the dried riverbed and the worried faces of the villagers. He spoke to the village elder, an old man named Baba Ojo, who explained that the river had started drying up after a strange tremor in the ground. Chima and Kessie decided to follow the riverbed upstream to find the source of the problem. They walked for hours, the hot sun beating down on them. Finally, they reached a large boulder blocking the river's flow. Chima realized that the tremor must have caused a landslide, blocking the water. "We need to move this boulder," Chima said, determined. The villagers came together using ropes and logs to try and shift the massive rock. It was hard work, and everyone was exhausted. But Chima didn't give up. He encouraged the villagers, reminding them of the importance of working together. After many hours, the boulder finally moved and the water began to flow again. The villagers cheered and celebrated, grateful for Chima's help. Baba Ojo smiled and said, "You have the heart of a true leader, young prince." Chima and Kessie returned to the palace, where King Adeola praised Chima for his bravery and quick thinking. "You have done well, Chima," the king said. "You are truly worthy of becoming a prince." As time passed, Chima continued to help the people of the kingdom, always with Kessie by his side. He faced many challenges and learned many lessons, growing wiser and stronger with each passing day. But he never forgot where he came from and the love of Mama Jaja, who had found him in the trash and given him a second chance at life. One evening, as Chima was sitting by the palace fountain deep in thought, Kessie came to him. "Chima," she said, "do you ever wonder about your real mother?" Chima nodded slowly. "I do sometimes. I wonder why she left me and if she ever thinks about me." Kessie placed a hand on his shoulder. "Maybe one day you will find the answers, but for now, know that you are loved and have a family here who cares for you." Chima smiled, grateful for his friend and the new life he had been given. Little did he know that his journey was far from over, and many more adventures awaited him. He would continue to grow as a prince and a leader, guided by the love and lessons from his past. And so, Chima's story continued, filled with hope, courage, and the promise of many more exciting tales to come. Chima woke up early the next day, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. He decided to visit Mama Jaja in the village to tell her about his latest adventure. With Kessie by his side, they rode on horseback through the lush green fields until they reached the small, cozy hut where Mama Jaja lived. Mama Jaja was overjoyed to see Chima. She hugged him tightly and listened intently as he recounted the story of the dried up river and how they had restored the water to the village of Ndebele. Tears of pride filled her eyes as she said, "You have made me so proud, Chima. You are truly a blessing to this kingdom." As they were talking, an old woman approached them. Her clothes were tattered and she looked tired and weak. Mama Jaja offered her food and water, and Chima noticed a strange, familiar glint in the woman's eyes. "Thank you," the old woman said, her voice trembling. "I have traveled a long way to find you, Chima." Chima was puzzled. "How do you know my name?" he asked. The old woman sighed deeply. "I am Coco, your birth mother. I have been searching for you ever since I made the terrible mistake of leaving you in the trash. Not a day goes by that I don't regret my decision. I am so sorry, my son." Chima was stunned. He didn't know what to say. His heart was filled with a whirlwind of emotions, anger, confusion, but also a deep curiosity. Mama Jaja gently placed her hand on his shoulder. "It's okay to listen to her, Chima. It's okay to feel." Chima took a deep breath and looked at Coco. "Why did you leave me?" he asked softly. Coco's eyes filled with tears. "I was young and scared. I had nothing and didn't know how to care for you. I thought leaving you there was the only way to give you a chance at a better life. I have spent every moment since searching for you, hoping to explain and ask for your forgiveness." Chima's heart softened as he saw the pain in Coco's eyes. He realized that holding on to anger would not change the past. "I have had a wonderful life with Mama Jaja," he said. "She took care of me and gave me all the love I needed. I forgive you, but it will take time for me to understand everything." Coco nodded, tears streaming down her face. "Thank you, Chima. Thank you for giving me a chance to explain. I will do everything I can to make it up to you." Chima and Kessie decided to bring Coco back to the palace, where she could have a safe place to stay and a chance to rebuild her relationship with her son. King Adeola welcomed her warmly, understanding the importance of forgiveness and family. As days turned into weeks, Chima and Coco slowly began to build a bond. She shared stories of his early days, and he told her about his adventures and dreams. It wasn't easy, but with patience and love, they found a way to connect. One day, As Chima was practicing his sword fighting in the courtyard, Kessie ran up to him out of breath. Chima, there's news from the northern borders. Bandits are attacking the villages. The people need our help. Chima's eyes narrowed with determination. He knew that as a prince, it was his duty to protect his kingdom. He gathered the royal guards and set off with Kessie and Coco, who insisted on coming along to help in any way she could. When they arrived at the northern borders, the sight was chaotic. Villagers were fleeing, and the bandits were causing destruction. Chima led his guards into battle, fighting bravely to defend his people. Kessie used her quick thinking to guide the villagers to safety while Coco helped tend to the wounded. After a fierce battle, the bandits were defeated and peace was restored. The villagers cheered for their brave prince, grateful for his protection. Chima felt a deep sense of pride and fulfillment, knowing that he had made a difference. As they returned to the palace, Chima realized that his journey was not just about becoming a prince. It was about understanding the importance of love, forgiveness, and courage. He had faced many challenges and learned valuable lessons, but he knew there were still many adventures ahead. Chima looked at his friends and family, feeling grateful for their support. He knew that with them by his side, he could face anything that came his way. And so, Chima's story continued, filled with new challenges, deeper friendships, and the promise of many more exciting tales to come.